Did you know that one common sleeping habit can reduce the amount of oxygen your heart gets by up to 20%? Without you ever realizing it, if you're over 60, there's one sleeping position that may be slowly pushing your heart into overtime every single night. It doesn't just affect how rested you feel, it quietly impacts your circulation, your breathing, and your long-term heart function. In today's video, we'll expose the most harmful sleep position for older adults, explain why it's so dangerous, and show you the simple change that can help protect your heart while you sleep. Because this isn't just about getting better sleep, it's about lowering your risk of heart failure, arrhythmias, and even nighttime strokes using nothing but your pillow and a slight shift in how you lie down. I'm Dr. Eli Morgan. I've spent over 35 years helping older adults reclaim their energy, protect their independence, and sleep in ways that support, not sabotage, their health. And what I'm about to share could change your nights and your mornings. The aging body and hidden risk. As we grow older, the margin for error in how we treat our bodies narrows, especially at night. After age 60, small physical stresses that your body could once ignore now accumulate and take a toll. Joints don't recover as quickly. Blood vessels stiffen. The lungs expand with a little more resistance. And perhaps most importantly, the heart becomes more sensitive to subtle changes in how blood and oxygen flow while we sleep. You might think sleep is a neutral activity, a time for rest and repair. But your sleep position can quietly create the opposite, micro strain. When you lie in certain ways, you may unknowingly limit how much oxygen your lungs can take in, how easily your blood circulates, and how hard your heart has to work just to keep everything going. And this happens not just once, but for hours every single night. Imagine a slow trickle wearing down a stone. That's what happens when sleep posture creates subtle but constant pressure on key systems. Your spine, your chest cavity, your lungs, even your carotid arteries. The body's ability to compensate isn't what it used to be. And while you sleep peacefully, the stress adds up quietly. Until symptoms show up during the day as fatigue, brain fog, or irregular heartbeat. The bottom line? The way you position your body at night isn't just about comfort anymore. It's a cardiovascular decision. Heart strain from sleep position. The position you sleep in doesn't just affect your comfort. It can directly increase the workload on your heart. Let's break it down. Certain positions compress your diaphragm, making it harder for your lungs to expand. That means less oxygen reaches your bloodstream, especially during deeper stages of sleep. With each breath, your body pulls in slightly less air, and your heart responds by pumping faster and harder to compensate. This is no small adjustment. It can raise your nighttime heart rate for hours without waking you up. At first, you might not notice anything, but over time, that chronic strain can lead to higher blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, or even nighttime angina in those with existing heart disease. The heart doesn't get to rest. It works overtime in silence. And if your sleep position is reducing your oxygen saturation, even by just a few percentage points, that's like forcing your heart to run an uphill race in low gear every night of the week. It adds up, and the body keeps score. Why sleep position matters. More. After 60, your body doesn't recover from stress the way it used to. That's not weakness. It's biology. Your blood vessels lose elasticity. Your lung capacity shrinks. Your nervous system becomes more sensitive to even minor disturbances. So while poor sleep posture might have gone unnoticed in your 40s, it can now quietly sabotage your heart and circulation every single night. The truth is, sleep position matters more in later life than almost any other time. You're not just managing pressure on joints or avoiding a stiff neck. You're managing airflow, blood flow, and organ stress. And if you don't take control of it now, the impact doesn't just show up in sleep quality. It shows up in how tired you feel during the day, how quickly your heart beats after climbing stairs, how easily you get winded during a conversation. But the best part? It's fixable with one small change in how you lie down tonight. The worst position revealed. Back sleeping. So what's the position that silently stresses your heart night after night? Sleeping flat on your back, also called the supine position. Now I know this might come as a surprise. Many people think lying on their back is natural or even beneficial. But for older adults, this position often does more harm than good. Here's why. When you lie flat, gravity pulls your tongue and the soft tissues in your throat backward. This narrows your airway, making it harder to breathe deeply and freely. That alone increases the risk of something called sleep-disordered breathing, including mild forms of sleep apnea that can go undiagnosed for years. And every time your oxygen dips, your heart goes into compensation mode. Heart rate rises, blood pressure spikes, stress hormones surge. You may not even wake up, but your body is cycling through mini panic responses again and again through the night. Over time, this pattern contributes to dangerous conditions like high blood pressure, arrhythmia, or even left ventricular hypertrophy, where the heart muscle thickens due to chronic overwork. But there's more. Lying on your back also encourages stomach acid to travel up the esophagus, especially after dinner. That means acid reflux during sleep, an issue that doesn't just affect digestion. Reflux irritates the airway, disrupts breathing, and subtly taxes the heart by activating the sympathetic nervous system. That's your body's fight or flight mode, the exact opposite of what you want during rest. And for older adults, the effects are magnified. Blood vessels are less responsive, lung recoil is weaker, and many seniors already have reduced baroreflex sensitivity, how your body regulates blood pressure overnight. So if you wake up with a dry mouth, sore throat, pounding heartbeat, or your partner notices pauses in your breathing, it could all stem from sleeping on your back. When it's the only option, now, let's be fair, there are exceptions. If you've had recent spinal surgery, live with certain back conditions like lumbar stenosis, or use specific medical devices that require back sleeping, this advice doesn't apply to you in the same way. In those cases, back sleeping might actually be recommended for alignment or support. But for the majority of older adults, especially those with high blood pressure, heart concerns, or signs of snoring, avoiding the flat supine position can make a profound difference in nighttime recovery. Even a partial change can lead to noticeable improvements. Best position: left side, sleeping. If sleeping on your back places quiet stress on your heart, what's the safest, most supportive alternative? Sleeping on your left side, especially for older adults, is one of the most protective sleep positions we know of. Let's break down why this simple shift works so well. First, it helps your heart work with gravity instead of against it. When you sleep on your left, your heart sits slightly higher than the rest of your body, which eases pressure and improves blood flow out of the heart. The aorta, the major artery that carries oxygen-rich blood, curves toward the left. So this position reduces resistance and makes your heart's job easier throughout the night. Second, left side sleeping gives your lungs more room to expand. That means more oxygen, more consistent breathing, and fewer disruptions from shallow breaths or oxygen dips. For seniors dealing with reduced lung capacity or light sleep apnea, that extra oxygen can be the difference between fatigue and clarity the next morning. Third, it aids digestion. Your stomach sits on the left side of your body, and lying this way helps gravity keep acid in the stomach where it belongs. That means less acid reflux, fewer nighttime awakenings, and better overall sleep quality. And when reflux is reduced, your airway and nervous system stay calmer, giving your heart a true rest. But here's something most people miss. Left side sleeping has also been linked to better lymphatic flow, your brain's natural cleanup system that removes waste and metabolic byproducts. As we age, the body's detox systems slow down, but positioning yourself on your left may help restore some of that overnight clearance, promoting both brain and heart health. In contrast, the right side can be a mixed bag. Some studies show it may slightly compress the vena cava, the large vein that returns blood to the heart. While not a problem for everyone, those with existing heart issues might find it worsens palpitations or breathlessness. You don't need to stay perfectly still all night, but starting on your left side gives your heart a head start toward better rest and better recovery. What about right side sleeping? Now, what about sleeping on your right side? For some, it might feel more natural, and in certain cases, it can reduce pressure on the heart. But there's a catch. Sleeping on the right side may slightly compress the inferior vena cava, the major vein that channels blood back to your heart. In older adults with heart rhythm issues or reduced cardiac function, this can subtly restrict blood flow and increase the sensation of palpitations. If you've ever felt your heart flutter while lying on your right side, this might be why. It's not dangerous for everyone, but if your heart feels more settled on your left, trust that signal. Your body often knows before your mind does. How to train your body to sleep left. If you've been sleeping on your back or stomach for decades, switching to your left side might feel awkward or downright impossible. But here's the truth. Your body is highly adaptable, even at 60, 70, or 80. With a few smart adjustments to your sleep environment, this shift can become surprisingly natural. Start with your pillow setup. Most people who struggle with side sleeping are simply using the wrong pillow. You need one that fills the space between your head and shoulder, keeping your spine straight. Too flat, and your neck collapses. Too high, and you'll strain your shoulder and compress nerves. Look for a pillow specifically labeled for side sleepers, or one with a contour that supports the neck curve. Next, let's talk body support. To stay comfortable on your left side, try placing a full-length body pillow along your front, or a regular pillow between your knees. This keeps your hips aligned, eases lower back strain, and prevents your top leg from pulling your spine out of position. When your body feels stable, it naturally stays put. Still rolling onto your back during the night? Here's a simple trick. Place a rolled towel or small cushion behind your back. It acts as a soft barrier, gently discouraging you from turning without waking you up. Some people even sew a small object, like a tennis ball, into the back of a sleep shirt. You won't get hurt, but your body quickly learns to avoid that position. For stomach sleepers, the transition takes a little more creativity. Try placing a wedge pillow under your chest or hugging a second pillow against your front. This simulates the slight pressure of sleeping on your stomach without forcing your spine into a twist or compressing your lungs. Another helpful tactic: focus on the first 2 to 3 hours of sleep. That's when your body spends the most time in deep, restorative rest. Even if you shift later, starting on your left side gives your heart and lungs the best environment for recovery when it matters most. You can also create a nighttime ritual that conditions your body. Try reading, meditating, or listening to soft music while lying on your left side before sleep. This builds an association in your nervous system. This is how we rest now. Over time, your body will begin to crave that position without effort. One final mindset shift. Don't treat this as an all or nothing change. Even partial improvement in your positioning can lead to measurable benefits. And every time you wake up during the night, something that becomes more common with age, you have another opportunity to gently return to your left. What once felt unfamiliar will, with repetition, start to feel like home. Pair with casein protein. Before bed. Left side sleeping is a game changer for your heart, but if you want to take it a step further, There's a second strategy that amplifies the benefits while you sleep: a slow digesting protein before bed, specifically casein. Why casein? Because during sleep, your body enters a natural fasting state. That sounds healthy. But for older adults, this mini fast can actually speed up muscle breakdown, slow tissue repair, and weaken recovery. Your heart is made of muscle, and like any muscle, it needs constant nourishment, especially during nighttime repair cycles. Unlike whey, which digests quickly, casein is absorbed slowly, over 6 to 8 hours. That means a steady, drip-like release of amino acids into your bloodstream throughout the night. These amino acids help your heart repair tiny micro tears, reduce overnight inflammation, and maintain strong muscle tissue in your legs, chest, and core, all while you sleep. In fact, one study from Maastricht University found that older adults who consumed 40 grams of casein protein before bed showed enhanced muscle protein synthesis overnight, even without exercise. Another benefit? Casein supports blood sugar stability during sleep, a major factor in reducing nighttime awakenings and supporting steady energy in the morning. And when paired with left side sleeping, the effect is synergistic. Your position improves circulation and reduces reflux. The protein fuels overnight muscle repair and supports cardiovascular recovery. Both together ease strain on your heart and improve how you feel the next day. You don't need a fancy supplement routine either. One scoop of micellar casein protein mixed with water or almond milk works well. If you prefer real food, low-fat cottage cheese or plain Greek yogurt are great natural sources. Just aim for 30 to 40 grams of total protein with at least 2.5 grams of leucine. That's the key amino acid that triggers muscle growth. This simple evening ritual can quietly build resilience, improve strength, and help you wake up less sore, less tired, and more alive. Synergistic effects of sleep plus protein. When you combine left side sleeping with casein protein before bed, something powerful happens. You stop aging passively and start recovering proactively every single night. This isn't just about sleep quality, it's about reshaping your body's entire recovery rhythm. Casein protein gives your heart and muscles the fuel they need to repair. Left side sleeping reduces mechanical stress and improves oxygen flow. Together, they create a metabolic environment that supports lower blood pressure, better insulin sensitivity, and faster cellular repair. Here's what that looks like in real life. Stronger heart function. Preserving muscle tissue helps maintain the strength of the heart itself. A stronger heart pumps more efficiently, reducing your risk of cardiac fatigue and heart failure. Improved muscle retention. Most seniors lose muscle overnight due to age-related breakdown. Casein slows that process, helping your legs, core, and arms stay strong. That translates to better balance, more mobility, and less risk of falls. Calmer nervous system. Casein's slow digestion stabilizes blood sugar while you sleep. No more sharp dips that jolt you awake at 2 a.m. Combine that with the left side positioning, which reduces reflux and breathing interruptions, and your body stays in deep restorative rest longer. Lower inflammation. Both strategies, sleep posture and protein timing, help reduce overnight inflammation. That means less joint stiffness in the morning, better cognitive clarity, and even faster healing from minor injuries or workouts. If you're already walking or doing light strength training during the day, this combo becomes even more powerful. Why? Because exercise sends the signal to grow, and sleep provides the raw materials and recovery time. Without that second part, you're taking one step forward and one step back. Think of this routine as a nighttime investment in your independence. Every night you combine these two habits, you're compounding small wins, preserving strength, protecting your heart, and rebuilding your energy. No pills, no prescriptions. Just strategic recovery built into the hours you're already sleeping. How to know it's working? So you've made the change, you're sleeping on your left side, you're adding casein protein before bed. But how do you know it's actually working? Your body will start whispering clues. First, you may notice mornings feel different. Instead of that heavy, achy stiffness, you might get out of bed more smoothly. Your legs feel steadier. Your back doesn't complain as much. You might also feel calmer. Your heart rate doesn't surge when you stand, and you don't feel winded from minor movement. That's your cardiovascular system breathing easier, quite literally. Sleep interruptions might drop off. If acid reflux or blood sugar swings used to wake you at night, you'll find yourself sleeping deeper and longer, even if you're still getting the same number of hours. And over the coming weeks, you might even feel more motivated to move, walk, or lift things you once avoided. That's not a placebo. That's recovery in action. Make it a lifelong habit. The real secret to results isn't just knowing what to do, it's turning that knowledge into something you automatically do every night. So how do you make this sleep and recovery routine stick? Start by linking it to something you already do, like brushing your teeth. Keep your casein protein and shaker right next to your toothbrush. That way, every time you brush, you're reminded, this is how I end my day now. Set a small reminder at first, on your phone, on your mirror, or even on the nightstand. You won't need it forever. But in the early weeks, consistency beats willpower. Make it so easy, it's harder not to do it. Choose a flavor of protein you actually enjoy. Sip it slowly. Let it become part of your wind-down ritual. Not just a task, but a quiet act of care. Then, when you lie on your left side, think of it as something more than a position. It's a posture of protection. You're not just sleeping. You're recovering, rebuilding, strengthening. And if there's ever a night you don't feel like it, picture the version of you 10 years from now. Moving confidently, standing tall, living fully. That future isn't a fantasy. It's built night by night with choices like this one, because routines don't just support your health, they shape your identity. Vision of future self. Tonight, when you lie down on your left side and finish your protein shake, know this: you're not just following a tip. You're investing in the version of yourself who climbs stairs without hesitation, who wakes up without groaning, who keeps pace with grandkids and walks into every day with strength, clarity, and calm. That future is built quietly, while you sleep. Because longevity isn't just about how long you live. It's about how well you move, think, breathe, and feel during those years. So sleep like someone who's not just aging, but thriving. Because tomorrow morning, you'll feel the difference. And now, you'll know exactly why.